Happy morning, children. In the previous video, we studied about archaebacteria. Let's start with other bacteria which are included in kingdom Monera. So, one such bacteria is eubacteria or true bacteria, right? Where the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan molecules. Okay, what is meant by peptidoglycan? Actually, it is a complex carbohydrate, a non-cellulosic polysaccharide. Non-cellulosic, the term seems to be very big, very complex, complicated. Again, non-cellulosic simply means it is a carbohydrate, it is a polysaccharide, but it is not a cellulose, right? Rather, it is made up of repeating units of NAM and NAG. What is NAM? N-acetyl muramic acid, and NAG is N-acetyl glucosamine, right? Since it is bacteria, so it lacks a true nucleus, it lacks various membrane bound organelles, right? Now this true bacteria on the basis of shape can be of four different types: cocci, bacilli, vibrio, spirilla. Spherical or oval shaped bacteria are called as coccus. Coccus is singular, cocci is plural. Rod shaped bacteria, bacilli, singular, bacillus. Comma shaped bacteria are called as vibrio, and spiral shaped bacteria are called as spirillum. Example of spherical bacteria: streptococcus. Example of rod shaped bacteria: lactobacillus, one which is responsible for conversion of milk into curd, right? Example of comma shaped bacteria: vibrio cholerae, the bacteria which causes cholera disease, right? And the spiral shaped is spirillum. Okay, now these different types of bacteria can be classified into some more types. For example, if the spherical bacteria occur singly, it is monococcus. If they are in pairs, diplococcus. If four such pairs are together, tetracoccus, right? If they are in a chain, streptococcus. If they are in a mass, it is staphylococcus. Okay. Likewise, bacillus. If they are in pairs, diplobacillus. If they are stacked one above the other, palisade bacillus. If they are in a chain, streptobacillus. Okay. Now here you can see this is comma-like vibrio and this is screw-like spirillum, right? So these are the different shapes of bacteria, right? Now on the basis of presence or absence of flagella, you know what is a flagella? Flagella is a structure, whip-like structure. Whip, Hindi, chabuk, one which is used to control animals, right? So flagella are whip-like structures present along a cell, present in a cell, and is concerned with the motility. It helps it in the movement, right? So on the basis of presence or absence of flagella, again there could be different types of bacteria, right? A trichus, A means no, the cell, the bacteria without flagella. Monotrichus, mono means one, so bacteria with single flagella. Amphitrichus means bacteria with flagella at both the ends. Amphi means both, right? Lophotrichus, presence of a tuft of flagella, a group of flagella only at one end. Cephalotrichus, sorry, diagram is not visible, very sorry. Okay, so now you can see, right? This is monotrichus, presence of one flagella at one end. This is amphitrichus, presence of a flagella at both the ends. This is lophotrichus, presence of a tuft of flagella, a group of flagella at one end. When such groups of flagella are present at both the ends, we call it cephalotrichus. Okay, and peritrichus, when flagella are present all over the cell. Right? So, on the basis of presence or absence of flagella, bacteria could be atrichous, monotrichous, amphitrichous, lophotrichous, cephalotrichous and peritrichous. Clear? Now, bacteria can even be classified on the basis of staining reaction. Right? And then what could be the categories? Gram positive and gram negative bacteria. What is this gram? Actually, gram is the term given after the scientist Christian Gram, who developed this technique of staining bacteria. Right? So, in this technique, bacteria are first stained with crystal violet dye, a weak solution of crystal violet dye. Dye means a color, so that they all pick up blue or purple color. Right? After that, bacteria are washed. But before washing, first of all, they are treated with 0.5% iodine solution, so that blue color could become still darker, followed by washing with water and then washing with alcohol. Once again, I am repeating the steps. Bacteria are first stained with crystal violet dye, so that they all pick up blue color. After that, they are treated with iodine solution, weak iodine solution, 0.5% iodine solution, right? And then they are washed. First washing is done with water and second washing is done with alcohol to remove the blue color or the purple color, right? So the bacteria who retain their blue or purple color even after washing with water or alcohol, they are called as gram positive bacteria. Right? Just say right now what is the situation? Corona positive. So who is corona positive? In which the virus, coronavirus is found to be present. Right? And if that is that gives a negative test, that means corona is not present, the virus is not present. Likewise, those bacteria who retain their blue color even after washing with alcohol and water, they are called as gram positive bacteria, and the bacteria which lost their blue color and became colorless are called as gram negative bacteria. Right? And later on you will study, I think most probably in chapter 8, that this was because the gram negative bacteria lost blue color because their cell wall was made up of 80% of the cell wall was made up of lipids. So in due course of washing with alcohol, the lipids of the cell wall also got washed off, the lipid of the cell membrane also got washed off, right? And that is why they lost their blue or purple color. Right? Some more differences are there between gram positive and gram negative bacteria, but we'll discuss it in that chapter only, not here. Okay. Now, coming to the type of nutrition. Bacteria show both autotrophic and as well as heterotrophic nutrition. And heterotrophic nutrition could be saprophytic, could be symbiotic or parasitic. Right? So let us first discuss the autotrophic nutrition in bacteria. Right? Now, autotrophic bacteria, that means they can prepare their food. And in order to prepare food, they need pigments. So, autotrophic bacteria have two types of pigments. Right? One is chlorophyll and another one is pheophytin. But the chlorophyll is, in this case, it is bacteriochlorophyll. It is not the usual chlorophyll which is found in higher plants. Right? The chlorophyll found in bacteria is bacteriochlorophyll. Right? And another pigment found in autotrophic bacteria is bacteriopheophytin. found. For example, in purple bacteria, Bacteriophyllophyton is found in sulfur bacteria. Right. Now, in case of autotrophic nutrition, when these bacteria are preparing their food by photosynthesis, no oxygen is evolved in bacterial photosynthesis. Why no oxygen is evolved in bacterial photosynthesis? Because they do not use water as hydrogen donor. Right? They do not use water as a hydrogen donor. Got it? Normal photosynthesis makes use of water so that hydrogen is taken by carbon dioxide, it gets associated with carbon dioxide and then is converted to, takes part in the formation of carbohydrate, and oxygen is released as gas. Right? But in this case, since water is not being used as hydrogen donor, so no oxygen is evolved in bacterial photosynthesis. So you may say that the photosynthesis is anoxygenic. For example, purple sulfur bacteria, what do? Like, they use hydrogen sulfide H2S plus 6O2, 12H2S plus 6O2, right? What will they form? C6H12O6 plus H2O plus 12S, right? So there is no release of oxygen, right? Coming to heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and first heterotrophic mode of nutrition shown by bacteria, first type is saprotrophic. Here the bacteria obtain their food from organic remains, right? They break down the dead plants and animals, right, and get the food from them. So these group of bacteria are also called as nature's scavengers because they play a very important role in cleaning the environment, right? Like the latest of this nature scavengers have been identified as Pseudomonas, the bacteria, which is used in biodegradation of organic pollutants like petroleum spillage. पानी में अगर ऑयल स्पिल होता है तो उस ऑयल स्पिलेज को खत्म करने के लिए Pseudomonas का यूज किया जाता है. It has been found to be very effective in removing those oil spills by the process of decomposition, right? Next, symbiotic bacteria. What is a symbiotic association? An association where two organisms live together in such a way that both of them are mutually benefited from each other, right? So symbiotic bacteria live in mutually beneficial association with other organisms like E. coli, Escherichia coli. The bacteria lives in human intestine. Rhizobium, a very well-known example of symbiotic bacteria which lives in association with the roots of legumes. Okay. Now, third type of nutrition shown by the bacteria, parasitic bacteria, which live on the body of a living organism, on or in the body of living organism, and obtain nutrition from them, right? Now, most of these parasitic bacteria are harmful. They are pathogen, cause diseases, not all. Some may obtain nutrition but may not be harmful, but most of the parasitic bacteria are harmful. They cause diseases and therefore they are called as pathogens. Examples of such parasitic bacteria, such pathogenic bacteria: Salmonella typhi, the bacteria that causes typhoid; Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which causes the disease tuberculosis. Vibrio cholerae, which causes the disease cholera. Clostridium tetani, which causes the disease tetanus. These are few examples. There could be many more. Right? Now, if we look at the bacteria, then what do we see? That many of them cause diseases, most of them are harmful, but there are some bacteria which are even beneficial. How are they beneficial? Because these bacteria produce antibiotics. Right? You know what are antibiotics? These are the chemicals obtained from microorganisms which stop the growth or kill other microorganisms. Okay, whenever we have fever or cough or cold, doctor prescribes antibiotic, right? So, antibiotics are the chemicals which are obtained from a group of microorganisms to stop or kill other microorganisms, right? For example, streptomycin is an antibiotic obtained from bacteria Streptomyces griseus. Tetracycline, another group of antibiotic obtained from Streptomyces aurofaciens. Terramycin, Streptomyces ramosus. So these are the bacteria from which these antibiotics have been obtained, and there could be many more examples, right? Beneficial bacteria even include lactobacillus, which convert milk into curd. It even includes rhizobium, which causes nitrogen fixation, right? And undoubtedly those bacteria which act as decomposers, which feed on the dead remains of plants and animals, they also fall into this category, right? So this is all about eubacteria. Right. Coming to another type of bacteria which have been included in kingdom Monera, those are cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. As the name suggests, earlier they were included in algae. Right. Why? Because these are chlorophyll containing bacteria. If you remember the pigment present in the eubacteria, what we had studied, that they contain bacteriochlorophyll. But since these bacteria contain the pigment chlorophyll present in higher plants, so that's why initially they were placed along with algae. But because of prokaryotic cellular structure, they were removed from that algae, from Thallophyta group, and they were placed in kingdom Monera. So what are these blue-green algae? These are chlorophyll containing bacteria. Example, nostoc, Anabaena, Oscillatoria, Spirulina, etc. These are unicellular, right? But maybe colonial. So many cells could be grouped together, or could be filamentous in the form of a long thread. May be found in fresh water, may be found in seawater, marine, or may even be terrestrial, found on land, right? The colonial forms are generally surrounded by gelatinous sheath-like structure, which prevents them from wetting in water. And these are typical prokaryotes. Typical prokaryotes means they have a cell wall, they lack a true nucleus, they lack membrane-bound organelles, right? They are photosensitive. So here is the diagram of different types of blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. See, these all are filamentous forms where so many cells are placed one after the other. This is Oscillatoria, this is Arthrospora, this is Nostoc. The diagram is even given in your NCERT book. This is Anabaena, right? This is Ribolaria. At least you could remember these two, Nostoc and Anarina. These are the diagram. Nostoc, the diagram is even given in your NCERT book. So these all are different types of blue-green algae, right? Now these blue-green algae are photosynthetic because they contain chlorophyll. In addition to that, they can even fix atmospheric nitrogen, right? Because of the presence of special type of cells called as heterocysts. Here this is the heterocyst, here this is the heterocyst. Okay, and these dots, what is it showing? It is showing the mucilaginous covering. See, it's written also here, mucilage, right? So the bacteria have a mucilaginous covering, and due to the presence of special type of cells called heterocysts, they are capable of fixing nitrogen, right? What are heterocysts? Heterocysts are large sized cells, right? Heterocysts are large sized thick walled cells, maybe terminal. Terminal means at one end, or maybe intercalary in position, present in between anywhere in the filament as you saw in the diagram, right? And they have thick wall which is impermeable to oxygen but permeable to nitrogen. It allows nitrogen to diffuse, and then they fix this atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compounds, right? Coming to the next one, mycoplasma, right? Mycoplasma are simplest and smallest known prokaryotes, generally called PPLOs, pleuropneumonia-like organisms. Pleuropneumonia-like organisms because pleuro or pleura is a term related to lungs. Okay, so for the first time, these group of organisms were discovered in the pleural fluid of the cattle suffering from the disease pleuropneumonia, right? These organisms were discovered in the pleural fluid, the fluid which is found around the lungs of those cattle which were suffering from the disease pleuropneumonia. So all such organisms were then called as pleuropneumonia-like organisms, right? These, though they belong to kingdom Monera, they do not show cell wall, they don't have cell wall, right? Due to the absence of cell wall, they can change their shape and are pleomorphic, right? They lack organized nucleus because prokaryotic. They don't even have membrane bound organelles, right? This is the diagram of a mycoplasma, right? This is a cell membrane. This is the genetic material, right? Genetic material has DNA, it has even RNA, ribosomes, enzymes and all, and nothing else is there in the structure. Simplest and smallest of all living organisms, right? They show heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and heterotrophic mode of nutrition includes saprophytic as well as parasitic. Some are saprophytic, most of them are parasitic, right? Parasitic form cause serious diseases in plants and animals like pleuropneumonia in domestic cattle, little leaf disease of brinjal, right? Little leaf disease, as the name suggests, the leaves are very small, they are as such they are clustered together, and that is a great economic loss to the producer, right? So these are the few. They can even cause diseases in humans like urethritis, mycoplasmal urethritis in humans, inflammation of urethra in humans, right? So these all are parasitic forms. Okay, now children, one thing I am feeling that I have not explained reproduction in bacteria nicely. So in the next video, first of all, I'll explain reproduction in bacteria. Then only I'll start with the next kingdom, that is kingdom Protista. Okay, and if you have any problem, you can text me messages, you can ask me, you can call me, right? And try to complete, try to study the video, try to go through the video before posting next video. Right, now you will have come to know that which are the days on which I am going to post the videos. So before that, you complete your previous ones. Okay, thank you children.